Hey, come through and support the team. Chicago Bouffalants merch in the description section below. We got t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies available in all sizes, big and small, in the description section below. Go check them out, support the team, and let's kill it this season. Alright, so what's poppin', everybody? Welcome back, or welcome to another UCL video. You guys already know the deal. Hit thumbs up for the boys, really appreciate it. And let's get into this. My name is Nick, and or Sacred, whichever one you want to call me is totally fine. The coach of the Chicago Bouffalants. And here we are, week 1 versus the Toronto Togekiss. Shout out to the Heat of Mo, my boy. And honestly, dog, I want you to know this whole like UCL team building shit is not, it's just not. It's a lot of anxiety shit that's going on, and I kind of want to go ahead and tell you all the thought process within the madness that is this entire team building process, because shout out to the front office, obviously, for the mock-up battles and everything like that, and the suggestions as well. But I can't wait to show you guys this team, because most team or most draft is a crazy amount of bulk and a crazy amount of like offense when it comes to like just everything, when it comes to Zard X, Kartana, Nidoking, like really offensive mons. So in my what's the word, I'm gonna try my hardest to at least play around most of his Pokemon. It's not really that hard to do so, but now that I have the thought process for this team down, we can actually go ahead and I can tell you guys what the hell we gotta do and what the whole thought process is, and hopefully you guys are here to see the actual thing. So with that being said, let me go ahead and go grab this right now. Here is the team for week 1 versus the Toronto Togekiss. Right here, this is the team. We got King, the Manaphy, we got Neos, the Latios, we got Gotti, the Arcanine, we got Quasimodo, the Celesteela, we have Janae, the Meloetta, and we have Count G, the Gligar. So now, the thing about this is, right, I have a thought process, and my entire thought process is to basically go and I guess sweep Mo. That's gonna be the plan here. The plan is to go in here and sweep, because most of his mons can't take anything. I'll explain how this works anyway. So look, so for this entire team, there's 2 type of leads that I can go out to. I can go out to either Manaphy, and I can go out into either Manaphy or Gligar. Gligar obviously is to set up the rocks, defog and tailwind a lot of stuff in. And I guess Manaphy is for my screens. Now the whole thought process behind this thing is he can't really touch me. Like he can't, like his team is great and all, but he can't really touch this team, because my thought process in this is my dedicated lead will always have to be Manaphy. You will always see me go out with Manaphy. That's just, it just is what it is. You will always see Manaphy. You will. And Manaphy is supposed to come in, depending on what his lead is, I'm supposed to set up my light screen and my reflect, and then you turn out into anything I see fit. Now you can obviously argue like, yo Nick, what if he sends out so-and-so, if he sends out so-and-so, if he sends out so-and-so, but if he leads out with my Lodic, Miltank, Mew, Florges, or Donphan, I'm free to do whatever I want, honestly. Kartana, Superior, Zard X, and Rotom, I can switch to Arcanine, and if he leads with Slowbro, Togekiss, I can switch into Celesteela. If he leads Nidoking, I can set up my light screen and then go into Gligar and or Celesteela, because he might just go for the straight offensive. I don't know. It depends on whatever, like, I guess, split he is. He could be either physical or special. And if I have Reflect up, obviously, if he sends out Zard and he tries to set up on me really early game, just go ahead, put my Reflect up, send in my boy Count G, and then just basically start earthquaking this thing's health away, because he is going to be able to, I guess it's a 3-hit KO for Gligar, because the Gligar that I'm running is physically defensive and he's Eviolite as well. I can just go ahead and under the Reflect, before I die, set up my Tailwind, or before the second hit, set up my Tailwind, and then be able to just, I guess, sack it off and or go for the Earthquake to get some residual damage off, and then send in some Mons as well. But if he tries to go into, I think I already said, if he tries to set up with Superior, Florges, or Slowbro, honestly, Celesteela walls out all these guys, because Celesteela does have the Leech Seed, Sub, Air Slash, Earthquake moveset. Obviously, he's relaxed nature. He does a lot of shit. Jesus Christ. He does a lot of things. Don't you guys know this Mon is fucking crazy, because this Mon, minus the minus the obvious Zard X and the Nidoking, this mon pretty much can take his entire team down and just whittle it down the more that he just keeps going. But honestly, I want to tell you guys something. So my plan in going into this is I have you to set up my entire screens. I have you to come in. Honestly, depending on whatever he has on the field, honestly, I'm going to go into either my Latios and or my Celesteela. These guys are going to be the guys that are going to be like just basically just going in, killing shit, and or like just bulking stuff out, stalling stuff out. So originally my plan was to go in with Manaphy, set up my Reflect or Light Screen depending on whatever he sends in. You turn out into my Latios. Latios plus two can basically one-shot and or two-shot most of his team with Ice Beam and Thunderbolt. That Miltank can obviously just get hit with the Thunderbolt. Most of his team is weak to a lot of my stuff. I also found out that Zard X, since it's neutral, if I'm +2 on my Zard X, it does at least 75% to 105% if I'm +2 with the Ice Beam on him. And then I should be able to just, if not kill him, be able to like dwindle him down and or switch into my boy Count G in case I want to like just kill him off with an Earthquake, because it takes 3 to 4 hits to kill off Gligar anyway. So that's pretty much my plan. Most of my shit is going to be like, you know what I'm saying, work around or whatever, but it's like pretty straightforward. Like just go in, set up and sweep. Because they say, for instance, he leads in with the let me see, let's see if he sends out, you know, my Lodic, Miltank, Mew, Florges, or Donphan. I can set up both of my screens, switch into Latios, and depending on if he has Thunder Wave on Miltank, I can set up like 2 Miltank or 2 Calm Minds on the Miltank and just start like killing shit on his team. Obviously, if he has the my Lodic, I will be behind my screens as well, plus the Calm Mind boost. I should be able to take out whatever Ice Beam moves that he thinks he's going to use on me. When it comes to Mew, he will be rocking that Z move, but obviously I have my Celesteela to go ahead and make sure that doesn't like do anything at all, because that pretty much walls that entire thing out. And we have Florges, who I think, honestly, dog, Florges might be a humongous issue, though I think Thunder Wave at +2 should be enough to kill it. If not, I can go into my Gotti, and basically Gotti is just gonna kind of scare him out. He's more on the bulky set, like he's more on the bulky set. So of course, I can just go in, I can scare him with like just having Arcanine out, Gotti, and just go for the Flare Blitz and the Bulldoze. Whatever he comes into is going to either get their speed decreased or just a lot of HP taken out, and I can just wall out majority of his team with Will-O-Wisp and Morning Sun. But if that doesn't work, like if my like train of thought doesn't work when it comes to this entire team, honestly, depending on what he does have, like say for instance, like I said, if he sends in the Zard X and the Zard X is crazy like +1 or whatever, I can set up my Reflect, switch into Count G. Count G is like, what's that? Count G, it would take like maybe, I want to say 2 to 3 hits to kill. But if I'm going in, set up my Reflect, he's going to go for the Dragon, he's going to go to Dragon Claw, I'm going to go for my U-turn, he's going to go for, I guess, for an attack on me, and or set up another one. I can definitely live 2 or 3 hits, and that's totally fine, because I'm behind my Reflect. I'll be able to go into my Gligar, go for my Tailwind, and then pretty much just come in with Meloetta. Meloetta with the Choice Scarf is going to basically destroy most of his team, because most of his team does go down to just anything Meloetta does, because Hyper Voice and Side Shock are on this thing, and if I really wanted to bait out a lot of his moves and a lot of his mons, I can just go for my U-turn and basically be Gucci, because the only mons that really wall out Meloetta is like his Miltank, it's his Miltank, his Mew, and his Milotic might be. And that is literally it. And if they ever came out, I would have to switch out into Quasimodo. Quasimodo going for the Leech Seed. Leech Seed comes in, and I can just go behind the sub if I want to, or I can just start getting residual chip damage or whatever. And let's say, for instance, I have my rocks up, and he can't defog my shit away. Let's say I just go up in here, set up my rocks, Tailwind, come into Janae and then just start going for a lot of hyper voices. A lot of everything is getting damaged. A lot of everything is getting hit with the residual damage from the rocks, and also as well the hyper voice from the Meloetta. The crazy thing about it is this Meloetta is actually modest. So this modest Meloetta is going to come in, Choice Scarf, hyper voice, everything that needs to. And if I need to do anything, I might just go for the Side Shock on most of his team, because that Florges will be weak to a Side Shock. Side Shock does do more to Florges versus hyper voice, and I think as well Donphin would probably get hit with that a lot as well. I'm pretty sure Miltank wouldn't. I don't know if he's running like a careful or like a physically defensive Miltank. I'm not sure personally, but honestly, like, this team is really like foolproof, honestly, because like I said, a lot of his draft is really, really offensive and a lot of like bulk as well, but most of his draft can get walled out by Celesteela unless it is a hyper offensive Pokemon like Zardex and or Nidoking out in the field. We have Janae to come in, basically trigger a lot of Mons in here. Like, anything that comes out on this thing is getting damaged. Like, if he wants to switch out around, he can, but I'm not gonna sit here, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I really want to like just kind of just sweep him personally, because my thing about this is getting the screens up in Manaphy is like really, really like the main focus of this entire thing. But if I can't get the screens up in Manaphy, what I can do is basically try and kill his strongest Pokemon. His strongest Pokemon, his one that I should be fearing a lot most of the time, is going to be his Zardex. His Zardex is actually really fucking insane. It, +1/+2, it actually destroys pretty much Latios. It destroys Quasimodo. The only one that can just that can take anything from it is Count G, and Count G would have to just be up in there and just kind of just make sure that I'm good for anything at all. So if I say, for instance, that he leads out with the Charizard, I go in for my Manaphy, I set up my Reflect, I go in for you, he's gonna take whatever, like 15% or 20%, I go in for my Tailwind, and I guess, I don't know, it depends for me, like, it depends on like how much damage it does, because if it does 15 to 20, 25%, I would have to go for my, I guess, Earthquake, just to get the chip damage off of him. And if I really wanted to, right, if I really wanted to, I can go for my Tailwind. Tailwind, at that point, Zardex is going to be at least under 50, like under 50%, maybe like 45% left of HP after the Earthquake, after the first Earthquake, because he will be having Flare Blitz on me. So if any on him, and if not, probably Fire Punch, but I'm not really looking out for Fire Punch. Fire Punch, if that's the case, Fire Punch isn't even going to do that much damage to me anyway. So at that point, I can set up my own rocks, I can defog his shit away, I can set up the Tailwind, I can just go ahead and start Earthquaking this thing, and if he lets it die, then he lets it die. But if he doesn't, then hey, I still have my rocks up, he can't really do much when it comes in. And then obviously, let's say for instance, he kills out Count G, and he's still +2, but he has a little small amount of HP left. I can send in Janae. Janae is Choice Scarf. I can just go in Hyper Voice, and it will kill the Zardex unless he's like +3 or some shit, which I can't let him do that at all, obviously. And it will kill most of his team as well. I'm not really worried about the Nidoking, because the Nidoking gets destroyed by this thing as well. The Donphin with Sturdy, obviously it's a 2-hit KO. I mean, it literally sheds his entire fucking HP down, and that's pretty much that. Like, his entire HP is gone, and that's cool. Like, I'm happy about that. I don't know, it's just one of those things where it's like, you just gotta be really good. And for my physical defensive, obviously I have Gotti. Gotti's here. Honestly, Gotti is here. He's specially defensive, might be. Gotti's here to basically just make sure I have an extra wall, because if you look at it, we have a 3 wall core going on. We have Fire when it comes to Gotti. Gotti is also offensive as well. We have Quasimodo, then we have Count G. Count G is physical. Celesteela is physical as well. And then Gotti is special defensive. And I think I'm using him more so for just the sake of having him out on the field personally, because having him out on the field would probably be like the best. I feel like it's the best way to scare a Pokemon out. Like, say for instance, I go for like let's say for instance, I don't know, like he sees my Arcanine now, he goes into either his Donphin or his Nidoking. You know, I can bait that and go for like the Bulldoze or the Will-O-Wisp, depending on whatever I want to do. Or if let's say for instance I come in on rocks or something like that, I can just Morning Sun away, switch out into whatever he thinks he's gonna do, because the only thing you can do to him is go for a water and an earth type move and just go into Celesteela, and Celesteela can just levitate that entire thing and be Gucci. You know, it is a flying type, so I can just be Gucci. So I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be Gucci. Like, I actually really excited about this entire thing, like low key, because I was like, I'm actually really nervous. This entire team, honestly, dead ass. Like if I really wanted to, just because I don't hope he doesn't have thick fat on his Miltank, but obviously if I am +2, the whole purpose of this entire like game is to do +2. That is literally where I'm at in my head, because if I send in Manaphy, right, Manaphy's gonna come in, set up my reflect light screen, and obviously U-turn into Latios. Whatever he has in the beginning, I'm not gonna be afraid of, because I'm already behind my shields. Most of the time it's not gonna be his Zardex. He's gonna keep that in the back, unless he wants to send that in, and it's fine. I'm gonna set up my one Calm Mind. My one Calm Mind is going to be enough to, if not shred his entire team, do something to his team. Because if he sends in his Zardex and he Mega Evolves, I get the Ice Beam off, and I'm still behind my screen, so it does a little bit amount of damage, a little bit maybe, and I should be able to just pretty much just kill him if I want to. If he wants to set up, I can just go for my Calm Mind again, still behind my screens, and then at that point I'm +2, and at that point I can just destroy his entire team, because Thunderbolt and Ice Beam are like crazy unless he has stick fat on the Miltank. But at that point I just go for the Thunderbolt, because Thunderbolt +2 goes beyond the 50% threshold as well. So hopefully this entire team is going to be really crazy. I'm really happy too, because Celesteelus is going to be here just to Celesteelus is just here to wall out his annoying ass mons. Like he has Milotic, Miltank, Mew, and if I just sit here and play along with just both of these guys, I can just Air Slash, Leaf Seed, sub. Earthquake is just here, just in case I need like more damage than Air Slash, obviously. But I guess I'm not really worried too much about it. And like I said, the more mons that we do take out with Celesteela, the more HP or the more defense he does get from the Beast Boost. So any of his physical mons, he can't really touch me like that. Besides his Zardex and his Kartana, but his Kartana gets walled by the Celesteela as well. And his Zardex, hopefully his Zardex isn't going to be that strong, because of course I'll be behind my shields, and I should be able to just, if not kill him with the Earthquake, probably at least Leaf Seed him and switch out, probably, or just hard switch out into Count G. Hopefully, if Count G, honestly, dead ass, as long as Manaphy's there to set up a screen, I can do whatever I want with this thing. I'm not really worried about that. Neos, Quasimodo, and Meloetta and Count G are gonna be like the star players of this entire team, and then we have Gotti just for backup, honestly. And hopefully, you know, that is hopefully that's it. Personally, like hopefully that's just. It's not much you can do at this point, because like I just feel like, you know, we're gonna be here for a minute. I can't wait to see how we play tomorrow. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully I don't misplay, because honestly, like how this is working, how this entire thing looks, I can guarantee a W week 1 and we should be Gucci, unless like some hacks are in play, or maybe like some crazy out of nowhere conundrum happens and then we're fucked. But hopefully that's not the case. With that being said, I think I'm gonna be done here. This entire team is pretty much, I guess, just generic at this point, because I mean I've said everything I need to do. Alright, with that being said, bye guys, love y'all.
Light the leaf, we glowing tree, and you can call it therapy. Take a sip, or 2 or 3. I close my eyes, I feel at peace. Break down the weed, pass the Dutch, we put it on it. The fuck is up?